Welcome to Lights Out Podcast, where I'm your co-host, Jen, and we're going to be talking about all F1 and teaching everybody who's not really familiar with the circuits and the cars. And today we have the hostess with the mostest, the expert on all F1. Her name is Ava. Welcome.
Hi, welcome to the Lights Out Podcast. I'm Ava, and this is Jen, my co-host, or my mom. So first today, we're going to be talking about the Williams Racing Team. So they were formed in 1977.
That was like before I was born.
Yeah, that was like how many years?
You weren't even thought of.
I wasn't. You weren't either, probably.
I probably wasn't.
So they were formed in 1997 by Frank Williams and Patrick Head. They're based in Oxfordshire, England. That's so far away. That's so
Don't you
far.
want to visit England?
Yeah, I want to go to England.
It's super gloomy there, and rainy, but I'm sure that racing is one of their biggest sports there. Like, what else do you do in England?
Soccer, or they call it football.
Oh, football.
That's not as entertaining as racing, but yeah.
Tell us about the cars.
So Williams, the team, they use Mercedes engine. Of course, teams use different engines, but they use Mercedes.
Which one's the most popular?
Probably Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with BMW.
Yeah, no, those are two different things, guys.
Sorry.
Not the same.
Yeah,
no. So they have entered 814 times into a race, but they've only had 810 starts. So that's what, 4 that they haven't started in?
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
Since the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They have 114 victories, 313 podiums.
Well, what does podium mean? When you say you made podium, what does that mean?
It means, so basically at the end of the race, 1, 2, 3, first, second, third.
Okay. So kind of just like the same as Olympics. You get gold,
bronze,
silver.
Yeah. But there's no gold, bronze, silver. It's just podium.
Podium. First, second, and third place. And then, so they've placed in how many times?
313. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have 118 pole positions. No, 128.
128 pole positions. What does pole positions mean?
I mean, they start first.
Number
one on the grid.
Yeah.
Start number 1 on the grid.
And how do you get number 1 on the grid?
You have to qualify. So qualifying is always second. They do practice, then qualifying in the race.
So usually you guys, when the races take place, it's like a 3 or 4 day event. So first day is
they usually do PR, social media, all that stuff, interviews and stuff. And then they do the next day, which is usually a Friday, but sometimes it could be Thursday, Saturday, depending on where they're racing. It'll be practice where they just go out, practice, get the car used to the track, get used to the track.
Right.
Learn when to brake, when to
accelerate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday or whatever day it may be on, it's usually a Saturday, is qualifying. So they go out and
they're racing for real during qualifying. They're trying to. Oh, they're not.
They're not racing each other, but they're pushing to the limit.
Okay.
So they're trying to get the fastest time, and once you get the fast time, then you get pole positions. That's what pole position is, which means during the race next day you start first.
So how many positions are there? How many pole positions are there?
There's only one, because it's one.
Oh,
just the first
pole
one.
means first.
Yeah, pole means first.
Okay.
So there's 10 teams.
Okay.
2 drivers per team, so 20 drivers. Okay. So if you out of the 20 drivers, you want to be the fastest, you get pole position. So if you're the fastest, you get pole position. So that's the whole point.
Which is Max, but we'll talk about him later.
Yeah, it's usually Max. But or Charles, he did.
He did really good.
He was getting pole position, but couldn't really get that first place podium. But
that's okay.
You don't need. But yeah, so qualifying, you want to push your hardest, and you go. There's Q1, Q2, and Q3. So Q1,
quarter one.
No, qualifying.
Oh, qualifying. See, I thought Q.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the first qualifying. So you go out, you race, you go out on your limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's you get disqualified from qualifying if you don't meet the standard, and then so you're out of Q2. Whoever made it into Q2, you go into Q2, and then if you don't make it into Q3, you're done. And then that's how it basically goes from the slowest up to the fastest.
Okay.
So if you get to Q3, that's you gotta work if you're in Q3 to get that pole position. And the only way you can get pole position is if you get into Q3. So get into Q3 immediately. But there's also times where you could be in Q3 and you could crash. You could spin out, you can have a lockup, which makes you not get pole position, not get 1, 2, 3. So not be in the front row, not be in the second row. You can end up being in the fourth row because it delays your time.
So back to Williams.
Yes.
Racing, they have a pretty reputable stats there, I see. So what else about them makes them unique? Who are their top 2 drivers?
So their 2 drivers are Alex Allen and Logan Sargent.
Oh, I know Logan. I've heard of his name before.
Yeah. Logan Sargent, he's from America. He grew up in Miami, I'm pretty sure.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. So he's their second driver. Their first driver is Alex. Alex is from the UK, but he races under I think it's Thailand.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Oh,
they're all in their 20s. They're all except for Fernando Alonso. He's 40. Lewis Hamilton's almost 40. The older drivers are in 30s, 40s, but most of them are in their 20s. Pretty young. Yeah, but yeah.
So how long has Alex and
Logan? This is Logan's first year. He's a rookie.
This year, the 2023.
Yeah, 2023. It was his first season racing.
Okay.
It was kind of rocky. I mean, they didn't really have a good car this season. But you know, he's a rookie. He's getting used to being in Formula One. He didn't have a great car to start off with, but he did push really hard. He showed his talent. So for the 2024 season, the 2 drivers are still racing for Williams. They haven't changed them. They still have their seat, which is pretty good because there's definitely potential for Logan to be a better driver, get up there, get into points. Alex, on the other hand, he's a great driver. He's driven for, and at the start of his career, he's driven for Red Bull as a second driver, but that was kind of a rocky start for him.
We'll talk about Red Bull in a different episode.
Yeah, but it was a rocky start for him. I mean, everyone that races alongside Max, it's kind of like, it's just not, it's kind of like a curse, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a good start for him. So now he's in Williams and he's actually racing really well despite not having a good car. Yeah, he's pushing his hardest. He had great overtakes this season. He was really showing his potential. So he's also staying with Williams for the next season for 2024.
Excellent. So we have something to look forward to, seeing Alex and Logan both on the track, hopefully pushing through, not coming in the bottom because they've been in the bottom the past few races, but we think they have potential.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they have a good car. So I mean, it could be better.
Let's hope for the 2024 season that their car is good. We'll see it in the preseason testing.
I can't wait for the preseason testing.
Yeah, same. I'm like,
I can't wait to see the cars and the new models and the new designs and the new colors and all that stuff.
Hopefully the library is good.
For you guys who don't know what pit stops are, it's a car takes a lot of damage, or not damage.
Well, not damage. Well, it's mostly the tires. The tires get worn down after a lot of time. That's why they have to have at least 1 pit stop throughout the race.
Yeah. How fast was the Williams pit stop? What's their fastest?
Their fastest time was 2.33. They made it to the top 10 list.
That's so fast.
Yeah, during the Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that was, but it was the 10th best time in the top 10.
2 seconds is fast, like 1, 2. Whoa.
Yeah.
And their tires are changed, their bolts are changed.
Yeah.
And they're out of the way, and the racer is off to keep their spot.
Well, not necessarily keep their spot, because when you're in the pit lane, you can't just go 100 miles per hour.
Right.
Usually it's like 60 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's still really fast.
Depending on the track, it's still really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also coming out, the pit lane is kind of long because but you can get overtaken when you're in the pits. Yeah. But of course, you can always make up and overtake them back. Yeah. Because you have fresh new tires.
Right.
Yeah. But their fastest pit stop overall was 2.02 seconds.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so fast. All right, everyone. At the end of every episode, we're going to introduce our pit stop.
The pit stop is basically where we spill the drama about each team and some controversial stuff that has happened in the past.
Girl, I love a little tea.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of Williams racing, the Qatar Grand Prix this year.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I was like so sad for everyone.
I know. It was like that race was insane. Like the heat, the dehydration that each driver had to go through, but especially Logan Sargent. Like, of course, he's having like a tough season already. Like, his car sucks. He's not getting into the points. He's the only rookie that hasn't gotten any points in the season, and he's trying his hardest. And the last thing he wants to do is retire from the race when he has potential to maybe get points.
Right.
Because yeah.
But he thought he had no other choice. Like, he really felt like he was going to pass out. And it's so dangerous when you're driving that car, going at those speeds. And then even when you have a city or a town that's already like a nice temperature, now you're being put in over 100 degrees.
Yeah, especially in the car.
Yeah,
because their back is literally right next to the engine, and
it just emits so much
hot.
heat.
Yeah, and they're in the racing suit. They have their fireproofs on.
Yeah,
their gloves. Like, it's so hot in the car. Their helmet too, and they're trapped in that heat. And then when you're adding that extra temperature.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so
crazy.
Dehydration already causes lightheadedness, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and just feeling not quite there. So I think he made the right decision.
Yeah.
To retire from that race, unfortunately.
Yeah. Even though he didn't want to, is the right decision. The team told him, like, and he wanted to stay out. He told the team, no, I'm going to stay out. But it just got so severe that they were like, no, you have to come in.
Yeah.
And he had to retire from the race, unfortunately. But
2024, baby. Yeah. Here we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have so much more information to share, so much more tea. You don't want to miss it. Next episode, we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about McLaren next. McLaren, because that's Ava's favorite, I think. Yeah. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in.